I'm Taylor with HXC Magazine, and we're sitting here with Shawn from Alesana. How's it going?
Going well, thanks.
So you just came out with a book, Annabelle. What was that whole process like?
The most challenging thing I've ever done. Yeah, it was over the course of so many records, and I always had the idea sort of in my head, but to actually sit down and write a book was unlike anything I've ever had to do.
Yeah, it seems like it was always kind of inevitable, like you were working towards that in like several different directions, and finally sitting down must have been like a big experience.
Yeah, there was a lot of post-it notes all over the walls and crazy scribbles everywhere, so.
Just like eyes popping out of your head.
Yes,
So how do you think that fans reacted to it?
So far, it's all been super positive. It sold really well. We sold out of the special edition pre-order and everything that we did, or first edition rather, and everybody that I've gotten to speak to about it has been really excited, so I guess that's okay.
Would you guys ever like anthologize all of your lyrics and like put the book in there and everything like that? Because I feel like that's got to be like this thick at this point, you know?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. The tricky thing is we've released the trilogy on 3 different labels, so getting certain rights to do certain things. Now, luckily, the 2 labels we were on previous to my own, they're very supportive of everything, but it's just a matter of going through the process and figuring out how the logistics.
So you did have the Decade EP. Now you're celebrating, you know, your 10-year and more in a different way. Where do you guys see yourselves going from here?
I like this little thing we're building of kind of being this niche-y kind of cult band almost, where somehow we keep having new generations of fans. I mean, I've got kids at the show tonight I met that were like 4 years old when this record came out. Like, I just don't understand how that's possible, but so I don't know. That was kind of always the goal. I love the band Refused, and I love the way they went about things, and I always wanted to be that. I never wanted to be a band that was playing for, 10,000 people a night. I wanted to be a band that matters for a really long period of time, and that seems to be happening, so I'm excited.
Right, like I've noticed that every time you come to New York City, it's always the studio at Webster Hall, and like you kind of intentionally avoid the bigger venues.
Yeah, because to me that's what rock and roll is, and great venues or big venues and huge crowds are fun for what they are, but I'd rather pack out a room like the studio and just go nuts.
So balancing Alesana with Revival and all of your work there and your family and everything like that, how do you work all that out?
I'm actually working on inventing the 36-hour day.
I was just talking about that with my boyfriend, actually. We were like, somebody needs to do that, so I'm glad you're working on it.
I said somebody needs to come up with a day called Blur's Day. It's just a day that exists outside of the regular week. But no, I like to keep busy, and I just try to prioritize and always make sure I'm just hitting marks with what I got to do.
Nice. And any future plans with Alesana in terms of new records and things like that?
Yeah, of course. I've already started the preliminary phase of writing new stuff, working out on the concept and everything like that. But yeah, they'll definitely, hopefully, the goal is to release something new in 2017. So
cool. So it's going to be a concept, but a different concept record?
Yeah, I think storybook-wise, I do want to do more with the Annabelle stuff, but record-wise, that'll be it. I don't want to do any more records that are around that.
Do you have any ideas of what you might write for the next concept record?
It's going to be more contemporary in a sense, but I also want to set it in a time period where it's like Old English language, so that the language is more sophisticated. So I don't know. I'm kind of all over it.
So like if Shakespeare came to 2016 and decided to rock out?
Similar to that, yeah.
It almost requires like a PhD to like go through a lot of your work sometimes. Like I studied literature in school, so like thankfully I have the background of being able to be like, okay, I know Dante, I know Edgar Allan Poe, I know all this stuff, but for the people who don't, it must be kind of an overwhelming experience.
Well, that's why with our songs and with the music and with the book too, I try my best to keep certain things as contemporary and common as I can, while also giving more complicated stuff to the people who want to dig in further. I didn't want to alienate fans by being overly complicated, and, so I tried to balance it out.
What literary figure would you draw inspiration from next, do you think?
I don't know if I'm going to do that this time. I don't know. Like, it's something we've always done, and I say that now, and then talk to me in 6 months, and they'll probably be like, oh yeah, I drew from that, but as of right now, I don't have anything in mind for it.
If it's Shakespeare, you have to let me know.
Definitely will.
So anything else that you want to let fans know?
Just thank you for all the years of support. I can't believe we still get to do what we do, and that's been the goal all along. So thank you.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks, guys.